Alright, so we have rescued the board cooperative members on Otha, and now we are here in a version of the Great Hall on Qo'nos. Anyways, here we have Amani and the House of Jimpok representative, who is going to be the actual person that we talk to for the negotiations. There's really not much in the way of actual dialogue, because I hadn't finished this part, because you're supposed to have a long-winded conversation about the importance of the Borg cooperative and liberated Borg drones and stuff, but didn't actually get around to it. Yeah. Where's your crew? Probably on their way to Qo'nos right now at maximum warp, which will take well, unless they use a transwarp gate, a little while. Anyways. Dum dum dum. See, this is a hint to tell people to explore, because of the fact that this, oh, this is the High Council chamber. I know that. That's perfectly normal. Is it? Because this is not the High Council chamber, as you probably know it. One, if you were to go through the side door in the current High Council chamber, you would end up in a hallway, not this side room. Because when they rebuilt the Qo'nos ground map, they reused certain parts of the original Qo'nos ground social zone. However, this is the Great Hall, not the First City. This is entirely an interior map. The First City map, oh yeah, the finished version, you would have had the ability to talk to these people, but we don't. The First City map, you have the Great Hall, which you can go inside and talk to people. That map doesn't have this entryway here. In fact, the entryway never served a purpose, which is probably why they got rid of it. Dum dum dum. Oh, and I had Imani make snarky dialogue about all of the parts of the map as you look at it. Although I did forget to make some of the more obvious jokes. Oh well, the lighting in this is not good. This was not built for lighting 2.0, and in some ways it doesn't work right. Anyways, the floor in the center of the room is the default spawn point for the old Great Hall map. Yeah, down there. Anytime you beam down and want to talk to Jimpok, you have to run up this series of ramps to get to Jimpok's office. Fun! It was time consuming. Also, giant statue of Jimpok, because of course there is. Alrighty then, moving on. This was a full-featured social zone, so it had all of the, standard things. It's just that you had to navigate winding tunnels to get to any of them. And yeah, I think this was the place where you went to get bridge officer manuals or captain training done. I think. I'm not 100% sure. It's been years. Also, there are context clues to the rooms to indicate what they were for. That one didn't have any. And yeah, bank and exchange area. See, standard terminals that they use for that sort of thing. I think these on these little tiny platforms off to the side were the mail to consoles, but I'm not sure. The old KDF Social Zone had a different style for certain things than the current one. So the design language used in the present version is not the same as the old version. And I'm not entirely sure what creates that difference. Part of me wants to say that this is a place where you could buy gear for dilithium. I'm not 100% sure though. Also, there would have been random NPCs just like standing around staring at you. Yeah, that was a bug. Yeah, this was a location where you could, whether it would be like a bartender, you could buy food and drink from. Not that food and drink are actually useful in this game. Okay, there are certain special ones that give you stat buffs, but that's the only ones that are like truly useful, and you don't need the ones that have the stat buffs. Why is the lamp red? Maybe because you see those in other social zones, but this is the Klingon version. Yeah, see, this is where you would have had the bartender. The rest of this was just for decoration. I think there is actually a story mission with a similar map still in the game. However, that's a similar map, not this map. It's something that was made in the same time period, so it had a similar theme to it. Here's the shipyard used to make obsolete junk. Because okay, I put in the obsolete junk joke because of the fact that the current First City map was built after, or correction, was built before they introduced T6 ships to the game. So this version of the map, okay, the reason there are 5 of these like glowing podium things here is that it had little demonstration hologram things where you could like walk up to it and push a button and it would show you a hologram of one of the ships you had as an available option to fly at a certain character level. So tier 1 ships, tier 2 ships, tier 3 ships, tier 4, and tier 5. I think left to right. Probably. Anyways, it's actually a rather entertaining effect that they put in there because of the fact I mean, when you walked in the shipyard, you'd always see a bunch of holographic ships to stare at. Kind of cool. They do kind of have that in the current one, but it only shows one at a time. Anyways, onward. So much map to look at. And more statues of Jim Pock. Yes, I know. It's an Andorian character running around. But, oh yeah. This is a challenge for people who care about Duels of Honor. This is another part of the map that got reused for the current social zone. Because if you go into the barracks, then go out the door behind the barracks, you will come into a room that looks much like this one. I don't remember if it has this little side chamber off to the side though. And yes, I did place the hatch on the floor. It doesn't actually have a hatch there. This is the corpse chute. Because I think it was Taco Fangs that made a corpse chute joke about, but yeah. I decided to just continue the corpse chute joke. Alright, I think there's like one place worth looking at left to see. Yeah, this is one of the problems with the original First City map that was, you know, something that they didn't carry forward when they revamped it is the sheer sprawling size of it. You have all these twisting, empty hallways to run through. Which, to be honest, if it's like a combat map where you're like killing a small army, sure. But it's not. D. Commodities, mass replicated weapons. Those have to be NPCs I placed. They're probably supposed to be in the Great Hall, and they're on the wrong floor. Because, if you take a look, here's the ramp that you go up to get to the council chamber, and the actual council chamber, where you can actually see Imani marked on the mini map, is directly above this. So when placing assets, you need to very carefully specify their altitude, otherwise they'll end up on the wrong floor of the building. These guys are on the wrong floor of the building, apparently. I thought something looked weird. Yeah, there's supposed to be like half a dozen more NPCs in that room. Alrighty then. Well, I guess that's that for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at a piece of the game that has not been used for a long time and might not get seen again anytime soon. Also, this is a bug. It's supposed to be a glowing light, and for some strange reason that's unfathomable to me, it gets replaced with a person-shaped red object. I don't know why. Oh well. See you guys later.